Now, I find it really funny how 5 months ago I put out Love Nothing, which basically told people not to get too attached to the way things are, especially if the things you've become emotionally attached to are overpowered. It's funny how in that same editorial I talked about people throwing tantrums when weapons or warframes that are being used as a crutch are reworked into something that is far more engaging and rewards skilled play. It's almost kinda like I know what I'm talking about. See, for those of you who don't know, when I'm not making dick jokes or making warframes all pretty-like, I actually spend a lot of my time playing around with in-game mechanics. Not only do I put numbers on paper, but I actually test them rigorously in-game, just to ensure that the opinions I express in my channel are well-informed, and not just based off of something I read on some forum somewhere, or some raw numbers I smashed out on my calculator while theory crafting. I take being well-informed just as seriously as I take my dicks, which I may say is pretty fucking hardcore. And that is why I can say some opinions just don't matter. Now, I know this is probably one of the more controversial things I have to say, but hear me out. If you find your underwear missing and a strange rash appears on your butt a day or two after you got blackout drunk at a party, who are you gonna trust more? One of your friends who thinks it may have something to do with that saucy guy you were talking to earlier that night? Or the doctor that runs a blood test and tells you that it's most likely that you shit your pants, tossed your underwear, and got a bit of a skin infection because you didn't quite clean up as well as you could have if you weren't completely wasted? Now, as much as you would like to think that you got some, chances are the person who took the time to run some tests and overall has had more experience with bodily fluids is probably the one you're going to want to listen to. Now, just to be clear, doctors aren't going to be correct 100% of the time, but I'm sure they've got a higher accuracy rate than your friend Becky, who was shit-faced drunk at the exact same party and doesn't remember helping you dispose of your shit-filled underwear. And this has never been more clear to me than what I experienced just this Sunday. After 5 days of playtesting and a stream that exposed Saren's rework to a lot of amazing Warframe synergies, someone posted what I would like to refer to as the epitome of all the idiot posters. Now, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but if you do a little digging, the following post does still exist. You claim you saw your whopping 14 damage spores spread throughout the map, but I don't really care. Spread spore and shoot them once? That's not a thing that really happens. Then he links the following picture and says, 50k health, which was a reference to the health halving potential of the viral status. Are you not good with numbers? Your spores don't do any damage. There is no debuff. And that's when I realized he didn't actually understand how the viral status works. And after further debating it, it became very clear he didn't even understand how spore worked. I spent so much time with this guy and he hadn't even taken a moment to look up what he was arguing about. In the end, after all of the information was put out in front of him, he still refused to acknowledge it. So, I had to cut him off, because in this case, his ill-informed opinion didn't matter. See, the fact is, in life you're gonna run into a lot of people like this. People who are aggressively ignorant, people who talk more than they walk, and more often than not are just out to ruin everyone else's good time. They gather in places like forums, YouTube comment sections, really any echo chamber they can hear their negativity reinforced. And when someone challenges them to look at things differently, especially with facts and footage, they lash out. They like finding things to be angry about and will happily continue to play a game that they openly dislike because they don't know any other way to be. They instinctively grab for the bad. And with that kind of outlook, their opinions don't matter either. Now, recently I've come under fire for engaging with these cretins, unloading ad hominem attacks, name-calling alongside a heavy dose of trolling. And frankly, to ensure that these kind of people understand that their form of aggressive ignorance is not okay here, I'd happily do it again. Because this is a place where math, mechanics, and playtesting are all paramount. Not a place built off of negativity or blinded by cynicism. And if mama's gotta get her hands dirty taking out the trash so we can have a nice clean dinner table to sit down at, then that is what I'm gonna do. See, I want to ensure that everyone that sits down at this table with me is well informed and armed with the kind of outlook that will not only make them successful, but ensure that their opinion always matters. So thank you all for watching yet another editorial. Now if you missed Love Nothing, you should definitely go check that out, as well as my most recent customization episode on the topical culprit herself, Saren. Now don't forget to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned to watch someone who's had a lot of experience with bodily fluids here at A Gay Guy Plays. And in addition, I have come to realize that it was a mistake calling people chimps. Apparently, scientists in the Kyoto University proved that chimpanzees are actually superior to humans when it comes to memorizing and reproducing numerical sequences. Thank you so much for this information, Xenophil. So, technically, chimps sit at the very top, normal human beings right below that, and somewhere down in the belly of the earth sit the press for the winners. Along with anyone else who thought I was really gonna apologize to these baboons? Can I say baboons? Xenophil, where are you when I need you? I need some fact checking over here. Baboons are okay, right?